Welcome to Dutch Horizons, a channel dedicated to uncovering how the Netherlands, though small in size, made an immense global impact. Here, we explore the stories of innovation, trade, and visionary ideas that shaped our modern world. If you enjoy tales of adventure and ingenuity, remember to like and subscribe to support future journeys across history's vibrant landscapes. In this video, we journey through the remarkable history of the Netherlands, exploring how its people forged global connections, pioneering commerce, culture, and ingenuity at every turn. Today, we begin with the foundations, the vibrant era when Dutch traders set sail and curiosity lit up new horizons. Embark with us to witness a nation's outward spirit and its journey from humble harbours to world-changing influence. Chapter 1. Trade and Exploration Foundations. Picture the dawn of the Dutch Golden Age, where lively harbours buzz with anticipation and hope. Ships gather at the docks, their sails ready to embrace unknown winds. Courageous merchants ready themselves for journeys beyond the edge of familiar waters, driven by dreams of distant lands and thriving trade. Here begins the remarkable story of a small nation's bold embrace of the world. The air hums with activity as goods from across Europe and beyond fill the quayside, spices, silks, maps and tools. Boisterous voices ring out in a dozen languages, echoing the cosmopolitan spirit of the time. Yet beneath this bustle lies a steely determination. The Dutch, surrounded by water and opportunity, carved their destiny by turning saltwater channels into highways for commerce, discovery, and the exchange of ideas. Netherlands, a nation cradled by the sea, saw more than just risk at its shores. It saw possibility. Maritime ingenuity flourished as craftsmen designed sturdy ships built for long voyages and clever navigators charted safer courses across treacherous waters. Every departure was a leap of faith, an act of curiosity and ambition that would eventually connect people, markets and cultures far beyond Europe's coastline. As ships unfurled their sails, families, investors and onlookers watched with mixed emotions: pride, worry, excitement. Each successful return brought back not only new goods and wealth, but stories of distant civilizations and unfamiliar wonders. The bustling harbours became gateways to the unknown, each voyage adding a fresh thread to the growing tapestry of global commerce and understanding. These early traders were more than merchants. They were pioneers, opening pathways where none yet existed. Through trade, the Dutch absorbed influences from around the world, blending and sharing insights, fostering innovation at home. This fearless outward gaze, rooted in both necessity and ambition, laid the bedrock for a society ready to shape the world in creative and unexpected ways. From these vibrant beginnings, the Netherlands' reputation as a hub of openness and enterprise blossomed. The legacy of those bustling harbours, courageous sailors and ambitious merchants endures, reminding us how curiosity and ingenuity can extend the reach of even the smallest nation. Join us as we follow their journey further, uncovering the systems and stories that emerged from these remarkable first steps. Chapter 2. Finance and Innovation Systems Created. In the heart of the Dutch Republic, something extraordinary was taking shape. The inventive minds of merchants and thinkers were busy laying the groundwork for systems that would change the world. With curiosity and vision, they looked beyond simple trade, imagining new ways to move wealth and opportunity. Their ambitions set the stage for economic revolutions that resonated far beyond their borders. In bustling towns lined with intricate canals, the Dutch founded the world's first true stock exchange. Here, people from all walks of life could buy and sell shares with a sense of possibility and adventure. The scene, alive with excitement, marked a turning point in human history, one where finance became both a communal venture and a catalyst for dreams. This was much more than trading goods, it was trading in ideas. it was trading in ideas. Joint stock companies, another Dutch invention, reshaped commerce. These companies allowed many investors to pool resources, sharing risks and rewards alike. Through detailed miniature scenes, we see merchants signing agreements, their faces lit with hope for distant ventures. Such innovations unlocked new energies, turning individual ambition into collaborative progress. Step by careful step, the Dutch built systems that would one day fuel global economies. As these innovations flourished, so did a sense of wonder. People marvelled at the possibilities that came from the freedom to invest in one another's ventures. Financial markets became a place not only to make fortunes, but to spread optimism and creative risk. The glow of opportunity flickered in the windows of merchant houses. Every deal struck promised new connections and exciting adventures across oceans. Dutch methods quickly found eager imitators. Envoys, merchants and philosophers travelled to Amsterdam to witness these marvels firsthand. The intricate system of stocks, investments and shared ownership fascinated visitors from across Europe and beyond. News of the bustling exchange and inventive business models spread, inspiring cities around the world to pursue new paths in commerce and finance, forever altering the pulse of global trade. The spirit of innovation infused daily life. In workshops and counting houses, calculations hummed and ledgers filled up with bold experiments. The tools of finance contracts, shares, clever bookkeeping helped weave together communities at home and partners overseas. Each transaction echoed the vision of a people eager to experiment and embrace the unknown, making the everyday a small part of something far greater. Through these financial systems, ordinary people gained extraordinary influence. Investment was no longer the privilege of aristocrats and royalty. It became accessible, opening doors for families, artisans and dreamers. This gradual democratization of wealth and ambition rippled outward. The Dutch showed the world that a nation's prosperity could come from collaboration and shared risk, not just conquest or inheritance. As this chapter in Dutch innovation unfolded, its echoes reached far beyond the Netherlands. The market floors and merchant houses depicted in our miniature models tell a larger story only of ideas travelling across continents and shaping the future. The vision and ingenuity fostered here set the stage for modern finance, turning humble beginnings into systems that still underpin the world economy today. Chapter 3. Art and Science Creativity Shared. In the heart of the Dutch Golden Age, the boundaries between art and science blurred in dazzling ways. The city streets sparkled with stories, where invention and imagination thrived side by side. It was a time when every corner hummed with new ideas, and creators from many worlds shaped a legacy that continues to inspire. Let us step into a land where creativity forever intertwined with discovery. Among the canals and bustling towns, miniature studios belonged to painters devoted to perfecting their craft. Each brushstroke revealed a mastery of light and perspective, capturing everyday life with extraordinary depth. Meanwhile, inventors and scientists peered through polished lenses, discovering unseen worlds. This chapter invites you to wander through vibrant cityscapes filled with possibility, where innovation unfolded not just on canvas, but in laboratories and busy marketplaces alike. Dutch genius shone brightest when artists and scholars shared their curiosity. New lenses, crafted for clarity, allowed scientists to unlock mysteries within drops of water and distant stars. Artisans joined with mathematicians, crafting intricate maps that revealed continents and sea routes as never before. These collaborations made the Netherlands a true cradle of discovery, where the arts and sciences both flourished in magnificent tandem. It was not just the work of solitary masters, but a vibrant network of thinkers and creators. The workshops of Rembrandt and Vermeer glowed with innovation, as did the studies of Leeuwenhoek and Huygens. They built upon each other's dreams, each invention and painting reflecting shared ambition. Here, creativity became a living web, with every idea sparking another, and every hand guiding the nation forward together. Cityscapes became dreams in miniature, alive with the laughter of merchants, the focus of scientists, and the vision of artists. Maps detailed expanding worlds, connecting distant lands to Dutch harbours. The artistry of cartographers gave explorers new tools, while painters immortalised this era's spirit. In workshops and studios, citizens captured the very soul of progress, and their passion radiated out across Europe and far beyond. Light was their common language, whether streaming through stained glass windows or swirling in the bouquet of a still life painting. Through mastery of optics, the Dutch lensmakers changed how people saw the universe. Microscopes and telescopes transformed daily reality into something magical, allowing the curious to catch glimpses of life's hidden patterns. Art and science together illuminated new ways of understanding the world. The Netherlands became a beacon, attracting creative minds and curious travellers. Ideas flowed through universities, lively debates pulsed in coffee houses, and inventions sparked revolutions in knowledge. In the thrumming heart of Dutch society, discovery and artistry were not distant pursuits. They belonged to the people, woven into the fabric of ordinary life. This energy made Dutch creativity contagious, spreading inspiration across the globe. Gazing back, we see a tapestry woven from visions, experiments and dreams. The Dutch matched their bold brushstrokes to groundbreaking discoveries, proving that imagination and observation are inseparable allies. Art and science, as partners, built foundations for the future. In this radiant web of creativity, the world's imagination truly was enriched by Dutch geniusse, legacy that still glows, inviting each generation to see further, think deeper and dream bigger. Chapter 4. Tolerance in Society. A unique model. The dusk falls over a patchwork of Dutch rooftops, and light spills from windows into the city's intricate lanes. Here, a new chapter of the Netherlands comes alive, an experiment in tolerance and social cohesion that sets this small nation apart. In these winding streets and shared courtyards, a profound openness invites people of all backgrounds to gather, share and build together, share and build together, share and build together. In miniature city squares, under the soft glow of lanterns, communities weave together despite their differences. Markets bustle with voices from distant lands, and laughter rings out in a medley of languages. This gathering of diversity is neither perfect nor simple, but it creates something uniqueier. Living laboratory for empathy. The Dutch learned to respect uniqueness, embracing the lesson that every newcomer offered a new perspective, a new way to enrich the whole society. Tiny bookshops, tucked between canals and alleyways, become havens for bold conversations. Here, new ideas circulate quietly and courageously, crossing the boundaries of faith, class and origin. The tolerance of the Netherlands is not just about coexistence, it is about the fearless exchange of thoughts. These bookshops help ideas take flight, sometimes challenging the comfort of tradition, but always nurturing the freedom to imagine better futures together. In these welcoming Dutch homes, every glowing window is an invitation. Agnon, irregardless of where they journeyed, From is greeted with warmth and hospitality. Conversations spill into evenings, where stories are traded, laughter softens disagreements, and trust is gently built. This hospitality is not without vulnerability. It is a fragile strength, requiring patience and goodwill from all, yet it is the heartbeat that sustains a resilient, open society year after year. Tolerance in the Netherlands emerged as a response to challenges rather than an assumed privilege. There were moments of friction, lessons hard learned through debate and sometimes discomfort. But the Dutch found that progress grew not by exclusion, but by careful negotiation between voices both old and new. Their story reminds us that tolerance is not a single act, but a living, ongoing process and agreement renewed each day in public squares and private homes. The society that blossomed from this unique Dutch model became both fragile and strong. In times of crisis, the bonds of understanding were tested, and yet, time and again, the community chose to come together rather than drift apart. Through storm and sunlight, the willingness to listen, adapt and support proved to be the invisible force holding the nation's social fabric in placid, gentle, quiet resilience. Over centuries, the Dutch reputation for openness spread across borders. Artists, thinkers and exiles found safe haven, adding strands to the national story that would inspire abroad. The Netherlands showed how diversity, though sometimes uneasy, can be the key to a vibrant culture. Its tolerance became a beacon, lighting the way for many who would seek understanding and unity amid differentia. Gentle promise to the world that coexistence is possible. Today, the Dutch model stands as both a mirror and a guide. Its society is never perfect, but always striving, ready to welcome the new while respecting the old. The glowing windows, the spirited talks, and the open hands to newcomers all demonstrate a fragile courage. And as history moves forward, the Netherlands continues to inspire, showing that the strength of a nation lies in its willingness to care, connect, and courageously embrace all who call it home. Chapter 5. Global Links. Shaping connections. Across continents, tiny ships and trains glide between miniature cities, symbolizing how the Netherlands built bridges between worlds. Imagine delicate threads tying distant lands together, threads woven through trade, communication and culture. In this chapter, we see how a small nation extended its influence outward, quietly connecting people far and wide, crafting networks that endure across oceans and centuries even to this very day. The Dutch influence can be seen in more than just historic maps or ports. Their ships carried not only spices and goods, but also stories, knowledge and dreams. As rails and wires stretched from town to town and continent to continent, ideas began to travel even faster than merchandise. The Netherlands became a silent architect, helping cultures to blend, shaping the tides of global communication in visible and invisible ways. Miniature networks, railways, shipping lanes, telegraph wires submerge like lifelines across the globe, all pointing back to this small but extraordinary country. The Netherlands' open harbours embraced the unknown, welcoming new customs and beliefs along with the cargo. Each connection was a thread, sewing together not just economies but communities, languages and art, making the world feel smaller, more intimate and more alive with possibility. Maritime routes fanned out from Dutch ports, becoming arteries for the flow of not just merchandise, but also for cuisine, architecture and music. Across continents, recipes blended, buildings borrowed Dutch shapes, and melodies crossed oceans. Through this dance of exchange, distant cultures touched each other gently, shaped by the hands of those who set sail and those who welcomed strangers onto their shores. The Netherlands was a common ground. Even in distant lands, echoes of Dutch ingenuity can be found, from windmills on foreign hills to words embedded in local language. These global links were more than physical. They were connections of spirit and curiosity. Tracing these lines, we see how small, practical innovations travelled outward, inviting others to experiment, adapt and blend traditions. The world's tapestry grew richer with every crossing and every shared discovery. The montage of miniature continents reminds us that Dutch connections were never one-sided. Every link sparked something, new recipes changed, art styles evolved, languages borrowed from each other, and friendships formed. This exchange was ongoing, dynamic and creative. As a vital hub between East and West, North and South, the Netherlands helped make the fabrics of global society more colourful, bringing cultures closer together with every new connection made. In a world often defined by borders, the Dutch story reveals what happens when minds are set on linking rather than dividing. Their visionary spirit continues to inspire. Digital highways now mirror ancient trade routes, and new networks echo the old. Even today, Dutch influence ripples outward, showing us that often the most lasting impact comes from building bridges great and small across both differences and distance. As we close this chapter on global connections, imagine the world as a brilliantly interconnected web, sparkling with thousands of points of contact. The Netherlands, small yet determined, became one of its chief weavers. Their legacy lives on in every cultural crossroads, every shot of creativity and openness despite boundaries. These links, shaped over centuries, keep reminding us how unity is possible, and how even a small nation can tie the world together. Chapter 6. Lessons of History: Rise, Fall, and Adaptation. The story of the Netherlands is one of constant motion, just like the little windmills on its coast, turning tirelessly through both gentle breezes and fierce storms. Time and again, the Dutch faced the challenge of rising waters, changing fortunes, and shifting landscapes. Through each cycle, they adapted, rebuilding after disasters with a quiet determination that defined their spirit. At the heart of Dutch history are cycles of achievement followed by daunting challenges, and then remarkable renewal. There were moments when prosperity seemed endless, and others when devastation arrived unexpectedly, washing away what had been built. But again and again, markets would recover, spirits would lift, and people would find creative solutions. These stories remind us that downturns are never the end, but a beginning for the next chapter. Picture small windmills battered by stormy winds, their sails creaking in the tempest. Yet each time the weather cleared, the windmills stood strong, repaired and whirring once more. After the floods, towns gathered to rebuild, raising dikes higher, homes stronger, hearts even more united. These scenes mirror the resilience seen throughout Dutch history, where every setback was met with a patient and hopeful response. Markets that had emptied in difficult times slowly filled with life again. Merchants gathering, bargains struck anew, laughter returning to cobbled squares. The economy, like the land itself, was shaped by cycles of ebbing and flowing tides, never static, always adapting. The Dutch ability to weather downturns without losing sight of possibility became an inspiration not only for their nation, but for the wider world. This chapter asks us to see history not as a series of isolated events, but as a living process of learning and renewal. Every generation has faced uncertainty, but what remains is the will to look forward, to shape the future with hope, ingenuity, and community. The Dutch have shown that resilience is not about avoiding hardship, but about meeting it calmly, learning from it, and moving forward together. From canals repaired after storms to communities celebrating the end of hardship with festivals and song, Dutch life has always been renewed by collective effort. New ideas have grown from old foundations, and even in times of struggle, cooperation has provided the strongest tool for recovery. The spirit of adapting and rebuilding, again and again, is a lesson that echoes beyond borders and across centuries. By reflecting on the rise, the fall, and the remarkable comebacks throughout Dutch history, we see the power of adaptation. Each setback led to innovations in trade, engineering, and society, fueling not just recovery, but lasting advancement. The story of the Netherlands invites us all to embrace change, to use imagination in the face of obstacles, and to remember that renewal is always possible. As our journey through Dutch history draws to a close, let these lessons linger. Even the smallest nation can make a global impact when it learns, adapts, and perseveres. The cycles of the Netherlands remind us to weather our own storms with patience, rebuild with courage, and look toward the horizon with hope. Every chapter, every rebuild, brings new possibilities for a brighter future. Chapter 7. Legacy. A small nation, global story. As the luminous threads of Dutch horizons weave together, we look back at a nation whose influence echoes far beyond its shores. Here, every canal, every brushstroke, and every invention reflects a spirit both humble and extraordinary. The story of the Netherlands is not just history, it is a living, breathing force carried forward by curiosity, hope, and the shared dreams of so many. This final chapter brings you a montage of Dutch life, shining in vibrant orange. Imagine scenes of bustling harbours, shimmering artworks, and vibrant city squares, all glowing with the energy of boundless achievement. trade, art, invention and community blend together, forming a portrait of unity that endures through change. The legacy of this small nation is its power to inspire, urging us to continue exploring, learning and shaping the world anew. From the earliest traders who dared to cross the seas, to inventors who reshaped how we live, the Netherlands has always been a bridge connecting people, cultures and ideas. Across generations, the Dutch spirit has transformed obstacles into opportunities, finding beauty in challenge and strength in collaboration. Their story is a reminder that greatness is not measured by size, but by the courage to dream beyond boundaries and leave a mark that glows in the memories of the world. In art, Dutch masters taught the world to see light in ordinary moments. In science and engineering, they tamed wind and sea, building new futures when land itself seemed exhausted. In finance and trade, Amsterdam became a beacon, pioneering systems that shaped global prosperity. In community, tolerance and dialogue, the Dutch model offered hope for harmonious coexistence. All these streams flow together, painting the glowing unity at the nation's heart. As orange hues mingle through every scene, they remind us of connection, a colour worn during victories, shared at festivals, and carried across oceans by travellers and traders. Orange becomes more than a symbol, it is the warmth of togetherness and resilience. In the Netherlands, unity does not erase difference. Instead, it weaves individuality into a luminous fabric, resilient in times of storm and radiant in the peaceful glow of shared triumph. Legacy is not only about what stands today, but about the wonder that invites tomorrow. Dutch innovation lives in today's ideas, art and global networks. This is a story without an ender. Quiet assurance that wherever curiosity stirs and minds work together, the spirit of this small nation glows on. The Netherlands' continuity is found in its commitment to hope, openness and the pursuit of the extraordinary amid the everyday. Let this story kindle your own curiosity. Dutch Horizons is not just a reflection on history, but an invitation to keep asking, discovering and appreciating the marvels woven throughout our world. Each achievement, each stride toward a better tomorrow, echoes with lessons pioneered in the Netherlands. As you carry these stories with you, let them shape the way you see your own journey. Remind that impact often begins with the courage to wonder. With this luminous montage, Dutch Horizons offers a vibrant farewell celebrating the unity, creativity and hope that defines the Netherlands. As the episode closes, remember that the story of a small nation can shape horizons everywhere. Thank you for joining this journey. May you carry forward the light of curiosity, appreciation and discovery, letting your own story shimmer brightly, just as the Dutch legacy continues to inspire the world.